Hey guys, boobly boobs boo to everyone. Today we'll be doing the 2003 L-World equilibrium question. So the question is, a thin smooth hemispherical bowl of radius A is fixed with its brim uppermost and horizontal. A smooth uniform rod AB of weight W and length 2L, and in brackets they've said that 2L is greater than 2A, rests with the end A on the inner surface of the bowl and the point C of the rod is in contact with the rim. Indicate the forces acting on the rod. By taking moments about A, show the reaction R at C is of magnitude WL over 2A. Also obtain another relation between R and W. Hence show that the length CB is 1 over 4 in bracket 7L minus root L squared plus 32A squared. Alright guys, so let's get straight into the question. So as you can see, I've drawn the diagram over here. So I'll just take you through it briefly. So they say a thin smooth hemispherical bowl of radius A. So as you can see, this length over here is the radius and this is also the radius. So I mark both of those as A. This is fixed with its brim uppermost and horizontal. So its brim is horizontal basically, and it's vertical like this. And then they say a smooth rod, uniform rod of AB. Smooth uniform rod AB of weight W. So this is the rod AB, and then they say that AB is of length 2L and that is greater than 2A. So when they say it's greater than 2A, we can understand that the length is going to be greater than just this length, because it's greater than the diameter of the hemisphere. So therefore, as you can see, AB goes beyond the hemisphere. So this is A and this is B, as you can see, and the way W is acting from its midpoint, and therefore this side is L and this side is also L, since this is the midpoint. And then they say the inner surface of the bowl is in the point that the rod and the inner surface of the hemisphere meet is point C. So as you can see, I marked that, and yeah, so basically that's what they've already given us in the question. So since both the hemisphere and the rod are smooth, we can understand that this reaction would be perpendicular. So it goes like this from the rim, and the reaction at A also will be will go through the center of the hemisphere, since both the rod and the hemisphere are smooth. So yeah, basically that's what you need to know. So I mark this reaction as R1 and this reaction as R2, and this angle is an unknown angle, so I mark it as alpha. So since both these sides are the radius of the hemisphere, this angle and this angle should be equal, since it's the equal and opposite angle of the triangle. So this is alpha and this is alpha as well. Therefore this becomes alpha, since it's an alternate angle. So since this is alpha, this becomes alpha due to the alternate angle theorem. So yeah, that's basically what you need to know before doing the question. So now yeah, so we can get straight into the question. So first of all, they say by taking moments about A, show that the reaction at C is of magnitude WL over 2A. So basically what we need to do is we need to show that R2 equals WL over 2A. So they've given us a small hint. So basically they've told us to take the moment around A in order to do that. So yeah, we can start off by doing that. So I'm going to take moment around A. So since the moments have to be equal to 0, the addition of all the sum of all the moments, I'm going to equate the clockwise moments to the anti-clockwise moments. So we take moment around A. So since this is alpha, this becomes 90 degrees minus alpha. Therefore, this angle will be alpha. So we can say W cos alpha into L equals, so R2, so the basically the clockwise moment, and this is the R2 is acting in the anti-clockwise direction. So I'm going to equate both of those. So R2 into, so since this is a right angle, we need the addition of this length and this length. So as you can see, so now if you draw a line from center of the hemisphere to the midpoint of the rod, it will create a 90-degree angle. So therefore, this is going to be A cos alpha, and similarly this will also be A cos alpha, as you can see from the diagram. So we can say R2 into A cos alpha plus A cos alpha, so that's 2A cos alpha. So basically the cos alphas get cancelled out. So therefore, if you subtract R2, you can say R2 equals WL over 2A. So that's basically what they've asked us to find first. Alright guys, so now we can move on to the second part of the question. So they say obtain another relation between R and W. So basically they are telling us to obtain another relation between R2 and W, and then they say hence show that the length CB is 1 over 4 in bracket 7L minus root L square plus 2A square. Alright, so the equation we showed before, I named that as equation 1, and now the next relationship I'm going to find between R and W is going to be through the Lami's theorem. So yeah, so basically to use Lami's theorem, we need to draw a diagram where all the three forces are acting at one point. So something like this, and then we need to draw the angles between them as well. So as you can see, W is acting downwards, and then R1 is acting towards this side, and R2 towards this side. So now to find the angles between these forces, through the diagram you can find those. So as you can see, if you take R1 and if you join it over here, if you send it through the point W, so basically if you take, or you can simply take W up here, and if you take the angle between, basically you need to find this angle. So as you can see, through the alternate angle, through the corresponding angle, since this whole thing is 2 alpha, this would also be 2 alpha, and obviously this is 90 degrees. So basically then through that you can say the 90 degrees plus 2 alpha. So I just wanted to show you how that is obtained. So it's a bit ugly, so I'm just going to erase it, otherwise the diagram will look a little messy. And then as you can see, if this angle is alpha, this angle over here, that's going to be 90 degrees minus alpha. So therefore, you can obtain again through the corresponding angles, then this angle will be 90 degrees minus alpha, and obviously this is 90 degrees. So then 90 degrees plus 90 degrees minus alpha means this angle between R2 and W is 190 degrees minus alpha. And yeah, just to make it just to give you all an understanding, I'll just mark the angles here. 12 for 90 degrees. And then we can obtain this angle since the addition sum of angles around a point should be 360 degrees. We can find this angle. So 180 degrees plus 90 degrees is 270 degrees. So 360 degrees minus 270 degrees is 90 degrees. And then 2 alpha minus alpha is alpha. Basically 90 degrees plus alpha. If I am not mistaken. So yeah, through that we can yeah, sorry, my bad. So that is not 90 degrees plus alpha, it should be 90 degrees minus alpha. I'll show you how it's done. So 360 degrees minus 180 degrees minus alpha, so this angle, say theta, minus alpha minus 90 degrees plus 2 alpha. So theta equals 360 degrees minus 180 degrees minus 90 degrees plus alpha minus 2 alpha. Therefore, this angle equals 90 degrees minus alpha. So that's how you get that angle. So now since we constructed this Lami's triangle, now we can find another relationship between R2 and W. So then we can say by Lami's theorem, W over sine 90 degrees minus alpha equals R2 over sine 90 degrees plus 2 alpha. So then I'm going to subtract R2, so therefore R2 equals W sine 90 degrees plus 2 alpha. Oh, so sine 90 degrees minus alpha is cos alpha. And sine 90 degrees plus 2 alpha is cos 2 alpha. So then you can say R2 equals W sine, W cos 2 alpha over cos alpha, and that can be equation 2. So basically we found another relationship between R2 and W. So yeah, I'm going to erase this since I need space. So write this here, R2 equals W cos 2 alpha over cos alpha, and that can be equation 2. Alright. Alright guys, so finally they say hence show that let's write over here CB equals 1 over 4 7L minus root L squared plus 32A squared. So yeah, so basically so this is CB. So you can see that CB is basically CB equals 2L minus 2A cos alpha. So as you can see, the unknown over here is cos alpha. So to find, so basically what we need to do is we need to find the value of cos alpha. If we find the value of cos alpha, then we can solve this equation. So to find the value of cos alpha, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two equations. So as you can see, the first equation is equal to the second equation. So I can take 1 equals 2 and yeah, so therefore WL over 2A equal W cos 2 alpha over cos alpha. So basically I'm going to cross multiply. So WL cos alpha equals, so now you can see cos 2 alpha can be written as cos squared alpha minus 1. So 2 cos squared alpha minus 1. So I'll show you how that happens. So cos 2 alpha in other words is cos squared alpha minus sin squared alpha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another cos squared alpha and I'm going to subtract it as well. So then it's the same as this. So then as you can see, so minus sin squared alpha minus cos squared alpha is minus 1. So then it becomes 2 cos squared alpha minus 1. So I'm going to write this as that. So 2 cos squared alpha minus 1 into 2A. I'm just going to erase this. So basically I'm going to take the terms on the left hand side to right hand side as well. So then it will become 2W cos squared alpha minus WL cos alpha minus 2WA. So sorry, this should be multiplied by 2A as well, so it will become 4WA cos squared alpha. So equal to 0. I need some space. I'm just going to erase this part on top. So let's erase this for now. So basically this is what we get. So we need to find cos squared alpha, and as you can see in this equation, cos alpha is a root. So to find the root, we know that we can use this. So basically if say x is a root, x equals minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So in this instance cos alpha is a root and WL is minus WL is d term. So basically this is d, this is a, and this is c term. So what I'm going to do is basically using this equation I'm going to find the value of cos alpha. So we can say cos alpha equals minus, so minus b, so minus into minus WL is plus WL. So plus W. Oh sorry, I made a mistake. So as you can see over here W is common to all three terms, so we can cancel out the W. So the W is not necessary. So this will simply be 4a cos squared alpha minus WL cos alpha, sorry, minus L cos alpha minus 2a. So this is the c term this is the B term and this is A. So yeah, even if I took W, it would anyway got cancelled out. But just to make things easier, I just cancelled out the W over here itself. So basically cos alpha equals minus B. So minus L, minus into minus L is plus L. So L plus or minus B squared. So L squared minus 4AC. So 4 into the A term. So 4 into 4A is 16A. 16A into 2A, which is the C term, over 2A. So that's 2 into 4A. So we know that cos alpha is basically alpha is between 0 and pi over 2 definitely. So since alpha is between 0 and pi over 2, alpha will definitely be a positive value. So therefore we can omit this minus value, negative value, and the reason for that we can write since cos alpha will definitely be positive. So basically now all we need to do is we need to simplify this equation. So we can say cos alpha equals L plus or minus, sorry, no minus, L plus L squared minus 32A squared over 8A. So basically that's the value we obtained for cos alpha. Now since we obtained the value for cos alpha, we can simplify, we can find the value of CB. So as I wrote before, CB equals 2L minus 2A cos alpha. That's because this whole length of the rod is 2L and this length from A, this length AC is 2A cos alpha. So basically to find BC we need to subtract 2A cos alpha from 2L. So then if you simplify this, 2L minus 2A brackets L squared minus 32 over 8A. So basically equals, so I'm going to make it common denominator. So before that we can cut this 2 to this and this A to this, so it will become 4. So then denominator over here would be 4. So then I multiply this by 4. So 8L minus L plus L plus L squared minus 32A squared whole thing over 4. So as you can see, I need some space, so I'm going to take this equation up there. So just erase all this. This will be equals 8L minus L plus L square plus 32A square over 4. So then through this, once you simplify this, you can see that CV is equal to, so 1 over 4 is common, you can take 1 over 4 out, and then 8L minus L, so that's 7L, and then minus into plus is minus, it becomes minus root square plus the 2a square. So basically that's what they told us to prove, and as you can see we've successfully done that. So yeah, this is how we do it. Alright guys, so that's all we have for today. Hope you all learned some value from watching this video, and I hope you all have an amazing time watching it. Stay safe and take care.